Lusaka lawyer Makebi Zulu has raised serious concerns about the state of Zambia, suggesting that Zambia is on the verge of becoming a failed state under the leadership of President Hichilema. Zulu has accused President Hichilema of abusing the law and undermining the independence of our nation's judicial system and other arms of government.
Addressing the president, that if he has to hurt other people to feel powerful, then he's a very weak individual. He's a very weak individual in that these three judges that he targeted are people that in 2016 he described as criminals in wigs. These are people that he had a Vedanta, I was almost saying Vedanta because I listened to your show and you keep saying it's not Vedanta, it's Vendetta. So in this case we're using Vendetta against them. It is clear that he has had an issue against them. Now you will recall that in 2016 on the 5th of September there was a ruling of the court where they said, listen, 14 days is 14 days. This matter is concluded. Our judicial system is set up in such a way that in the practice or in the carrying out of their responsibility or in the exercise of the judicial authority, the judiciary is independent. That is in Article 22 of our Constitution. So if a judge is going to make a decision, that judge is not subject to any authority or person. They are only subject to the Constitution. And the inbuilt system that we have as a country in correcting a judge is by way of appeals. But for the Constitutional Court and the Supreme Court, you can't appeal. Their decisions are final. Now, having made a decision that the matter could not go beyond 14 days, a legal decision for that matter, there were a couple of people that were disgruntled. Amongst them, we had Dante Saunders, we had Mr. Peter Sinkamba, we had Douglas Yakalima, we had about 8 complaints that were filed in with the Judicial Complaints Commission. The Judicial Complaints Commission issued 8 decisions where they are saying there is no prima facie case against these judges. The complaints was against the 5 judges, that is the 3 judges that have been suspended, including Judge Mnalula and Judge Chibomba.
During his statement, Makebi Zulu did not mince his words. He expressed grave concern over the suspension of 3 Constitutional Court judges, which he described as a direct attack on the judiciary. Zulu claims that all arms of government have been compromised, with the executive arm abusing its powers and bending the judiciary to its will.
An affront and an attack on the judiciary, because the executive cannot be seen to be wanting to correct judgment of the courts. They have no such jurisdiction. If at all we are going to proceed in this manner, it will mean that if you go to the subordinate court, you have a matter there, and you appeal to the High Court, for example. If the High Court decides that you are right and the judge or the magistrate in the magistrate court was wrong, it means that we need to expel or suspend that magistrate for having made a wrong decision. That is what this is coming up to. Should we be headed in that direction? No, we shouldn't. Because our legal system is created in such a way that there has to be consistency in the decisions that are being made. Decisions have to be consistent for purposes of inspiring hope, inspiring trust in our judicial system. But what has happened right now is that we are saying that whenever there's a change of government, there has to be a change in the judgments or thinking of people that are in the judiciary. An example is that case of the eligibility of President Edgar Chagwa Lungu. Upon change of government, there have been judgments that have been to the extent that he is eligible. Now the matter is coming up before court, and someone has raised, the UPND has taken the matter to court to say he is no longer eligible. And you will notice that these 3 judges that have been suspended are judges that are also sitting on that panel. They are judges that sat in the other 4 panels that decided that he was eligible. Now, the reason this is being done is not far from fetch. On the 26th of this month, on the 26th, we are appearing before the Constitutional Court. We are appearing before the Constitutional Court where this matter is supposed to be argued as to whether Edgar Chagwa Lungu is eligible. We are arguing in that matter that he is eligible because you already dealt with this matter. Now the composition is that there are 11 people that are sitting on the bench right about now. With a suspension of the 3, that leaves us with 9.
Makebi Zulu specifically called for the resignation of Zambia's Chief Justice, accusing him of failing to protect the judiciary from undue influence by the executive. According to Zulu, the Chief Justice has shown weakness by allowing President Hichilema's administration to manipulate the judiciary to serve its own interests.
Now, but if the Chief Justice was to rise to the occasion, I expected that at that particular occasion he should have told the President, Mr. President, that is not how we function. Ours is to protect the Constitution. Ours is to be independent functionally. Ours is to be independent in our judicial function. Ours is to be independent in our administrative function. Ours is to be independent even in the handling of our finances. But all this has been taken away from the judiciary. That independence has been taken away from the judiciary. And we have a lame duck of the judiciary. And the moment that hope is lost in the judiciary, the moment that people no longer have confidence in the judiciary, they will not go there anymore. What is going to happen? People will go to the street. People will sort out things their own way. The very fact that our court system has become inconsistent in dealing with issues is problematic. The very fact that they are choosing to reopen a matter that they've closed 4 times is in itself a problem. And that should be something that we have to rise as a nation and deal with and say we can't go on in this route. We can't go and use system to settle personal scores. Let the judges sit, let them make a decision, let the judiciary be independent, let the Chief Justice take charge of his position as Chief Justice and do the right thing.
In his powerful statement, Zulu did not hold back, urging the Zambian people to open their eyes to what he describes as the executive's strategic weakening of democracy. According to Zulu, this is a dangerous precedent and an abuse of the law that cannot go unchallenged. He also made a clear call to action, urging Zambians to stand up for justice and demand the resignation of the Chief Justice, who Zulu claims has failed to protect the judiciary from political manipulation. He warned that without decisive action, the country risks sliding further into authoritarianism.
We have seen the grossest interference with the judiciary during the term, this term where Hakainde Hichilema is in office. He has interfered with the judiciary right from the core, and I put the blame on the Chief Justice because he has played along with what the President has wanted to do. As a matter of fact, I'll take this opportunity to call on the Chief Justice to resign. To resign because he has failed to secure the independence of the judiciary.
Makebi Zulu's remarks are sure to stir further debate across the nation, as many Zambians continue to raise concerns about the state of democracy under the Hichilema administration.